Welcome to the MLB Prop Pick Show, powered by the Bad X. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in Canada. No days off for me and Jingles. We're working on the holiday Monday because we got ALCS, NLCS, ALCS Game 2, NLCS Game 1. Before we get into the picks and all that stuff, you got the Blue Jays hat. You got to give us your lowdown for Game 1. What'd you think there from the Blue Jays? Felt like I wouldn't say a must win, but like
must win. It's game one. We finally get a 7-game series in baseball, and you're calling must win in game one versus the team that traveled across the entire northern hemisphere 24 hours before the game. But as a better, I was watching that game and I'm like, man, we bet way too much into. I mean, obviously, like the Seattle money line should have been something that we looked at when it got to like plus 150. I think there's a price point at any point, maybe plus 130 at home, plus 150 on the road. It's going to like, it was such a point where you had obviously the leadoff home run from George Springer on the first pitch. And then Nathan Lucas had an 11 pitch at bat. And like, I was counting my money already, like Jay's money line. I'm like, let's go. And it was just, it got fast quick after that. Guy swinging early in pitches, one more hit. I believe it was the Santander hit in right field that Buddy plunked off his heel and went for a double, but that was it. It was bad. It was the Jays were getting jammed and the Jays were swinging early, and it wasn't like the offense that we saw in the previous rounds.
Yeah, you lose at home. They're on short rest. Your best starter versus their worst starter, Bryce Miller, and he goes 6 strong on short rest himself. Not a good start, but I mean, it's also baseball. I mean, the Tigers beat the Mariners with their worst starter and then lost both the Scuba games. So, I mean, it's not like anything's possible in baseball. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, Springer donor help. I had the George Springer homer, and he homers the first pitch at bat. Yeah, I tweeted up before the game. First pitch of the at bat. I was like, well, I guess I just go to bed now? This is my only bet I had in the game, and he hits the home run. Blue Jays fans were celebrating like they're going to the World Series after he hit that home run.
Do you know what I did? Like a donkey, like an absolute donkey, like a stand, no betting acumen donkey. I took the 1, 3, 5 hitters over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, the 2, 4, 6 hitters, and then the 7, 8, 9 hitters, just because I was a Toronto stan wanting some action on the game, and I overdid it, and it sucked. And it made the game worse, John.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than hitting props, and then it's just like they retired 24 of the last 27, I think. The Mariners, something like that. Yeah. And you're just watching, you're like, we are looking real bad. This is not going good at all here for the Blue Jays. You talk about the money line there. It was like 1,000% priced in for the Blue Jays that, They used the bullpen. It went 15 innings. They were coming across country. I looked at it before. So we celebrated Thanksgiving yesterday. Like you said, it's like plus 145, plus 150. I thought it should be closer, like plus 125. Normally you'd place a bet on there, but I'm like, I don't know. It was at the end of the day, it was a 15-inning game. They also use like all their arms. Then they put 3 of their starters in that game. You're like, how are they going to play this? I mean, maybe the bats win them this one, but man, Bryce Miller, like that was kind of actually the Tigers didn't get to him, but yeah, I was just like looking, I was like, I don't know if I can get there with this one. I feel like it's more of just like leave it alone. I do think it's interesting today. We don't have a money line bet, but you're looking at the Jays and Mariners today. So they do go cross country. They do use all their bullpen. They throw their 3 high leverage guys yesterday because they had a chance to win the game. Matt Brash, Gabe Spire, Andres Munoz. But I'm like, okay, so maybe today, like at some point, you kind of got to back off the bullpen. You think they're fine? They only threw, then you look at all 3 of them threw 8 pitches yesterday, and you're like, God, the Jays, like
the Jays were swinging so early and swinging at ozone pitches, it sucked.
Yeah, like not only do you you got them in the game, at least like work them for like 20, 25 pitches, and then they're definitely out today, or maybe the Mariners play differently, but it kind of scares you that they only threw 8 pitches each. So we'll get into the picks here. You got one Blue Jay starter to go over his outs. You want to break this one down?
Yeah, I mean, what I hated about New York was that they're like, Cam Schlittler's going to save the world. Cam Schlittler's the man. And I think we're kind of overdoing that with Trey, but this is the same number we saw Trey before. And now he has a little more confidence in the managerial staff and Pete Walker. And I think 12.5 is a spot where you saw the bullpen go in yesterday. I fucking hate the lefties in this bullpen. I do. And they're absolutely terrifying. They scare the shit out of me. And that's what we see in these games right now, where it's like, all right, show me the lefty where I need to get rid of my right-hander. Show me the lefty. And right now it's like Polanco. I'm not too worried about it. Maybe you bring in someone to see Cal Raleigh, but he can do some damage. I don't know. So 12 and a half still gets us to that point where 2 times through the order. Give me 2 times through the order, Trey, and you're done. I think that's kind of where it is. He won't see Cal Raleigh a third time through the order. He had 75 pitches in his last start. Obviously, I'm not sitting here saying he had 11 strikeouts. He's going to do again. He's not going to do that again. I think his strikeout market's at 5.5, and I think the bat's projecting the under. I'm obviously not hitting it, but I don't think we get to start like that. But I think this is a guy who can get. I mean, we saw the Jays lose a game on the bullpen change. It questions the manager, questions Schneider, and be like, okay, maybe I got to go. And I think Raleigh third time through the inning is the point where he comes out, and that would be 19 batters.
Nick Porter asking 13.5 at -114. Are you okay with that one? So 1 out higher, 20 cents less.
Yeah, once it goes, because you're already there, right? You just need that out in the inning. I think those outs are usually worth like 20 points max in terms of if you're already in the inning, how far do you go until you get to the 14.5? So I think there's 40 points between all of them. Fanatics has -110 over 13.5.
25 cents.
There you go. I don't know. I'm happy to take the -135. I think if you can get the 12.5, the 13.5 at -110, 15 to 20 points. I think that's where you say, okay, maybe I want to save 20 points, but I don't know. I think he has a leash, and 75 pitches he was last time. I think they can push that to 80.
You're not even asking for that much of a leash, like 12.5, 13.5 ounces for.
No, it's not like we got to get to the bullpen, John. We got to get to the bullpen that lost the game.
17.5, 18.5, it's 12.5, 13.5. So
it's a game 2 starter on full rest.
Yeah. And you would think he would earn himself a little bit more considering he did punch out 11 guys against the Yankees, and they were awful swings. So you feel like that there should be a little bit more of a leash there. I'm going for a home run prop here in this game. I'm going Jorge Polanco, which I don't necessarily love to bet because he sent my Tigers packing, and he was honestly a nightmare for us in this series. He was a nightmare for us when he was with the Twins too. He had the 2 home runs off Tarek Skubal. Plus 575. I think this should be closer to about like plus 480. Usually I honestly back off around home run props for like the postseason because, good pitching, cold weather. We actually have some really good ballparks with left here. You have, Milwaukee, Dodger Stadium and Rogers Center are 2 of the best across baseball. So we can kind of keep going after these home run props here, which is nice. Polanco, the confidence just has to be sky high. He has the winning hit against the Tigers. He has the 2 singles yesterday to drive in 2 runs. And talk about someone who's hitting good pitching. He had 2 homers off Tarek Skubal in that Tigers series, so he doesn't seem bothered. I also love, in the postseason, you have to be very careful with splits. They'll play the matchups. They have no problem bringing in relievers for like high leverage spots. They're going to bring out their best guys. All these teams left have pretty good arms and stuff. Even I know everyone hates their own bullpens, but your bullpens are better than most teams have. That's why you're still alive here. He's a switch hitter. He can go both ways. There's not really anything drastically in his splits here that make you feel like if it's a lefty or righty, he gets burned here. So plus 575, I'm going to take Jorge Polanco here to hit home run.
Can I say this? Can I say fuck Jorge Polanco too as a Jays fan? Absolutely fuck him. It's so annoying. Like, how is Jorge Polanco in the 4-hole? How is he your cleanup hitter? The guy's been like such a good professional baseball player that he somehow found his way into an ALCS roster where he's hitting in the cleanup spot.
No. As Joe would always call him, noted steroid user, because he got popped for 80 games, right? Was that last year, a couple years ago?
And can we talk about his eye black? Like it's like that thick. It's way too thick. I don't like it. He's the enemy, and he's too good. And I don't know why we tried to turn him around yesterday. And that was the Gosman thing, right? Like they brought in the lefty to turn him around, but he's a decent switch hitter. Whatever. It's dumb.
Yeah, he has. When you go look at, I think he hit lefties better this year, but I actually think he says he's more comfortable against, like he would prefer to bat left than bat right, but he hit left-hand pitching better this year. So I don't really know. You turned him around to the right hand, but he got the hit there. But yeah, his splits are kind of, it's hard to tell. Like he has like up and down years where it's like, oh, he's better against lefties, better against righties. But either way, we'll move on to the NLCS here. Dodgers, Brewers.
This is all coming from yesterday's game. This is all me thinking like 130 is too long. 130 is too long. I don't care what the bullpen is, John. I don't care what it is. You're at home. You're the best team in baseball, let's just say, with a hell of a bullpen, and you're plus 130 on the money line. I wish there was more in depth. I wish there were pieces to this analysis where it's like, here's some stuff that's not priced in. This is what I found. These are some nuggets I bet on. But sometimes betting is just betting the number, and here we are at 130 for the Brewers. Snell's a great pitcher, but let's not pretend that Milwaukee doesn't have a great bullpen and can get 12 to 15 outs out of, Quintana or Priester, who's probably going to start this game, or who will probably piggyback each other. It's okay. The bullpen has a 1.2 ERA. All you're doing is hoping this game is even until Snell's out. That's where you are. And then all of a sudden this money line flips to minus 130 if it's 0-0 after, or tied after 6. And I don't know, Snell's out. All of a sudden this money line turns to minus 135. Right? I guess, yeah, Snell's probably worth 60, 70 points. It's just a big number, John, and that's where Milwaukee's. Are they the best team in baseball? I don't think so, but their bullpen. These are the games they're built for. Like this is what Milwaukee is. Let's get creative and win a game with their great bullpen.
Obviously, a lot more love too when you're looking at it from like a market standpoint for the Dodgers versus the Brewers. The Brewers might be Are they like one of the best baseball organizations that really nobody talks? They've been good for.
Nobody talks about them.
Nobody talks
pitching and defense. Yeah.
Yeah. They've been so good for like the last, 10 years here. Like they're like consistently in the postseason. They're consistently winning 90 games. And
they've gotten rid of like good arms, like Bader, like Williams, or like, we know we're like Tampa Bay. We know when these guys are done. Here you go. You take them. You're like, it's incredible what they've done with the bullpen.
Yeah. They make so many trades and you're like, I don't know if that was a good trade. And like people question it. And then all of a sudden the guys they got end up being really good players and the guys they give away are like not so great or end up, falling off just a little bit. So I'm going to go for another home run prop here because we are in the Dome in Milwaukee. I'm going Freddie Freeman. You're talking about price for the Brewers there, plus 130. I think plus 600. You're giving me Freddie Freeman plus 600 at home run. I will take it. He's going against Jose Quintana to start this game. It'll be one at bat. There's no way this guy's going that far in this game. Freddie Freeman, same thing. It's the same thing you kind of value with Jorge Polanco, where it's like the split. So I'm not too worried about what relievers come in. You're constantly going to see so many relievers, and he is like an 850 OPS against lefties. He's an 850 OPS against righties. Quintana actually gave up, I think, 18 home runs this year, 12 to righties, 6 to lefties. So on the surface, it kind of looks like he doesn't give up many to lefties, but he only had like 118 at bats against lefties and like just under 400 against righties. So he actually gave him up at a higher clip. 2 left-handed batters. Freddie Freeman has a home run against him. I'm really just playing the price here. I do think this should be like closer to like plus 500. I bet this at PointsBet would be Fanatics in the States. I think FanDuel and like DraftKings were saying about like plus 540, plus 570. You can still play those if you want. Like I said, I think this should be closer to plus 500. I'm just taking a guy who plays postseason baseball, is clutch. I feel like there is something to say about like these guys who are getting postseason hits versus guys who aren't. I think some guys can play under the bright lights, some guys can't. Freddie Freeman is definitely one of those guys who can play under the bright lights. So give me Freddie Freeman there for the home run at plus 600. Jingles, do you think the Brewers have any of a chance to win this series? I know they're like either the Dodgers like minus 200 in that range to win the series.
7 games, man.
Anything possible?
Yeah, it's 7 games. We finally had a dumb shadow of 3-game series, 5-game series. No, you get an actual series. Watch pitchers go. This is what Milwaukee does. They're a good baseball team. Like sometimes you see, like you saw in the Seattle series, Seattle should have probably on paper dusted Detroit. Like that offense is maybe not that offense. That offense should certainly be doing better. The bottom third is awful. Once you get to like Calzone, like once you get to Dominic Calzone, you're like, this guy sucks. Like the bottom of the order sucks. JP sucks, but that top 6, you're like, this team should do better. And that's just baseball. Like it doesn't all come together at all time. You don't hit your best. It's like not if you're a 300 hitter, you don't hit 300 for the entirety of a series. It's hot and cold. And I think in 7 games, Milwaukee is certainly live. And I didn't think Seattle was live, obviously, because I was one of those donkeys yesterday, but they're obviously now 1 up or certainly live.
Yeah, it's also tough for the Jays because it's 2-3-2. So like you gotta have
game. You gotta get that next one. Is that another must win from you, John? Is that another must win? Game 2 is must win as well.
Well, you're going to Seattle for 3 after that. So like kind of even like right now, like even if they get today, like game 2, you're kind of hoping to come back down 3-2, right? Like you win 1 in Seattle, they win 2. That would kind of I mean, that's like the easiest math.
And the Jays cheat at home. So
yeah,
they don't have that edge when they go to Seattle.
I was trying to think with the Dodgers. I was like, okay, so obviously the starting pitching depth is really strong.
Crazy.
They have 5-6 guys. Like Sasaki's now closing, but they have like 5-6 guys who can start a game. So you're like 7-game series that plays out where like they have a good starter for every single game that they're going to throw. But I was also wondering, I was like, like those 5-game series, like they were able to piggyback like Tyler Glasnow behind people. So like now their bullpen needs to start throwing more. So I'm like, is it an advantage for the Dodgers like a 7-game series?
Have they pitched much? Have they pitched much since like September 18th?
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't. So like, because their bullpen's kind of shaky. So like now the fact that all these starters have to actually start the games versus coming in as relievers, I'm like, it could maybe look a little different. I still feel like the Dodgers win, but yeah, who knows? The Brewers are just one of those sneaky good, like defensive, like you go up and down their lineup and you're like, not too many guys that you like really, really fear. And then it's like, they put enough runs on the board to win the game.
Good at bats and dig into
grind it out. So
that's baseball. I don't know. I think there is a bit of a price correction coming, if that makes sense, because we went from the 5-game series to the 7-game series, and I don't think the books are pricing as we're seeing with the Treyu Savage number that's going to 12.5 to 13.5. I think the books are still on that. All right, this guy's going 70 pitches because it's a must-win game and we're down 1, right? Like I think the leashes are going to be a little bigger in the 7-game series, and it's always important to see what Derek Carty's projections are going into this game, because his numbers influence the market considerably. Right now, I think his numbers are a tad low in terms of pitch count, and I think that's why we're seeing the market so low, and then the Travis Savage market come up. And then Logan Gilbert, I have no idea what's happening. I was going to go as over 15.5 outs, but that's, who knows? Like, that's such a weird situation. He pitched the bullpen game, 34 pitches, 2 innings, you said.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he might just have 15 outs written on him.
The postseason baseball is so interesting because, like you brought up, the spots in like the schedule where you're betting on these players are so different from like a 3-game series to a 5-game series to a 7-game series. Are you up 1-0? Are you down 2-0? Like, will there be a quick hook because like our season's on the line? Like, what's going on here? And like, it's like game to game, is it? And like you said, the 3-game series, if you're down 1-0, you don't want you're starting to come out really fast, right? But like this one, like even like if the Mariners, we can talk about Logan Gilbert here. So like with the Mariners, even if he's getting shelled, does he just go because like they're like, we'll save the bullpen, right? Like we'll give everyone today off.
I don't think a manager just throws a white flag in a game like that. It makes sense. It makes sense to be like, okay, let's save the bullpen, but you constantly see managers just do dumb shit the entire playoffs.
The worst, I feel like the absolute worst thing the Mariners can do today is push the A guys again and then lose the game. And then now it's like, okay, now they threw like, the game 5, all those innings on the Friday. They threw game 1, they threw game 2. You only have 1 day off, and then it's gonna be 3 in a row, right? Like it feels like those guys can really use 2 days off here if they can get it somehow. So it's like, what does the manager do? Does he pull those guys out and go and still go for it? You're like, we got the split. We're going home for 3. We'll leave it at that. I don't know. It's hard. Well, I guess we'll see whatever they do. So
Bobby Newport brings up, he says, I feel like you find your MLB postseason edges, got to know the situational spots. And it was funny, like game 5. Right, they put Kerry Carpenter in the 1 hole because he's the best hitting guy on that team. They wanted more bats, which I think is the best lineup situation that you could make. Right, like Aaron Judge should be the number 1 hitter. Like the idea of the old adage of, you got to knock in runs, you got to get guys on, you got to set the table. No, like just you always want your best batter up in the most pivotal situation. That's it. Like you're not like, oh, I wish Austin Wells was up in front of Aaron Judge. So no, I think big bats like that, and big bats like that do something in terms of where it is. Cal Raleigh should go to the number 1 spot. Randy O'Rizzer, and maybe not the best 1 hitter, but there you go. But you saw long fucking winded way to talk about this, but like Kerry Carpenter goes in the 1 hole, and then they make the move for the pitcher outside when Kerry Carpenter comes up the 3rd time. Right, you get 18 outs. Like base your outs on that.
Yeah, that's a big thing too when you're looking at. That's a great point with the pitcher's outs, is like where's like the almost like the lefty for the lefty, like where would
that's
that
it. That's the
right?
the spot where you're gonna come out, right? It's
especially if there's a guy like Carpenter. He took him deep, which is hilarious. But especially if there's a guy like Carpenter who can't hit, like he can't hit lefties, like, or at least they haven't shown he can hit lefties. So there's more motivation than ever to bring in a lefty. You know, it's different if it's like maybe Ohtani or Freeman or something like that, where like, the splits are the same. Like, is the manager really going to run out to go put in a lefty? But when you can see like there's a clear edge, like I bring in a righty, I bring in a lefty here. This is the spot. Like, we're taking him out regardless. Maybe even it doesn't matter how the game's going, right? Like, we'll just take him out.
Is that now if Nathan Lucas is out, like, does that change where there's probably a better edge on Seattle pitching over outs now because Nathan Lucas took that ball off his knee yesterday. He's probably out. Addison Barger could be your first left-handed bat. And like, that's not a guy that's like, oh shit, Barger's up, better bring in the lefty. Like, I don't think you get to that spot until maybe Varsho, which is in the 6 hole. So you could see 18 plus 4, 18 plus 5.
Yeah. For Gilbert there. Spire was like that was one of the funniest things from that series. He gave up 2 homers, like one to Riley Green, one to Kerry Carpenter. He's one of the best lefties there. And both those guys don't hit lefties, but just unlucky for him. We'll leave it at that. So those are the 4 picks. We got Trey Savage over 12.5 outs, minus 135. Jorge Polanco to hit home run, Brewers money line plus 130, and Freddie Freeman to hit home run plus 600. Good luck with your bets. We will be back tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern for the MLB Prop Pick Show. That will be NLCS Game 2, just the one game there. So good luck with your bets. Enjoy the rest of your day.
How about more than 2 fucking hits today, John? How about that? How about more than 2 hits?
More than 2 hits, Blue Jays. You heard it from Jingles. More than 2 hits.
More than 1 hit after the first pitch of the baseball game. You had 1 hit after the first pitch of the baseball game. Do better.
That's what Jingles wants for Thanksgiving. He's thankful. He wants to be thankful for more hits. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck with your bets.